Welcome everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about some important issues, especially about ESG. And we have many students, those who want to know about ESG and ESG funding. ESG, why it is important and how it is different. What is ESG? Companies do not operate in vacuum. Impact of social and environmental trends on companies and investment. Impact of companies on social and environmental challenge. This is the way we can develop our things. ESG matter to investors. Global investor study highlight importance of sustainability. 22,000 investors in 30 countries will at least £10,000 in invisible asset. The standard result were 78% of investors felt sustainable investing was more important than 5 years ago. 64% have increased their sustainable investment over the past 5 years. 75% of millennials have increased their sustainable investment over the past 5 years. ESG measure how companies make money rather than just how much money they make. How companies are run, input, business model and strategy. The asset they own, how much money they make, investment performance, long-term driver, market focus. New challenges to making money. Companies face challenges on the bigger scale and faster pace than ever. Growth, social tension, inequality, world as a single populations, estimate environment problem, motor vehicles, energy use, GDP per capitals. This is also increasing carbon emissions. On the other hand, falling confidence in financial firm. Uh, from year 1972 to 2012, it's actually falling. Corporate externalities, percentage market capitals. This is also increase and decrease. That is not an academic exercise. Winner are make more money for longer than laggards. Top quantitative ROIC or average return on investment capital. Average year of top quantity prior to years show. In this graph from 1995 to 2015, average year in the top ROPIC quantities, it's actually increased from 12% to around 18%. Link theory and practices. Stakeholder lens translate ESG concepts to tangible analysis. Let's say this is a company. Company has employees, communities, regulation and environment, suppliers and customers. Beside that, employee choice, motivations, disruptions to the local operation, brand perceptions and the product demands, license to operate, pricing, competitive structure, direct or indirect cost pressures, product efficiency, expenditures, operational continuity, reputational risk. So in that situations, what we observe a rising mistrust of corporate sectors, dwindling income inequality, rising pandemic incidents, increased excess of information awareness of the global issues, governance employers to regulars, corporate sectors by vendors, public sector spends constraints increase burden on corporate sectors, incorporate assets owner and investor awareness or environmental and social factors, rising emerging economy strengthen higher resources intensivity of global GDP, violates weather patterns, intensity, resources constraints, globalization and industry value chain disaggregations, supply chains complexity, greater international migrations, population aging, long working lives, growth in working age and population has peaked. ESG factor important through investment process. Social and environmental views are important across society. Investment strategy where investors look for performance. Company analysis, the factor that drive investment return. Portfolio construction and maintenance of portfolio. Stewardship, active ownership and influence. Measurement and, reporting, tracking and explaining performance against goal. Climate change accelerating toward a cliff. Economic, demographic, and environmental are extended. HGF, concentration, ppm, population, GDP, energy use, GSS, emissions, all extended 1950 to 100. GHA, centralized population, GDP, energy use, GHG emissions, temperature increase. Complex challenges requires compensation view, tying together a range of climate analysis. The climate progress dashboard track the speed and scale of progress towards decarbonizations. Growth opportunities will emerge. Through policy will impact profile pools. Portfolio analysis across the range of climate impact will become increasingly key to risk management. Physical climate impact will accelerate and fossil investment is too limited. Climate progress dashboard. If we focus on the climate progress dashboards, then we can find shareholder climate progress dashboards. The climate progress dashboard provides a bird's eye view of the pace of change and scales of ambitions across key aspects of the climate progress, examining the implications of those policies, taking an investment lane to climate impact. So we are after CO2 pricings decrease in profile. So if we see that previously Volvo they have this amount of price, then 10.05% price actually increasing of the Volvo. Common tools are not shortcut to throw analysis little relation between carbon footprint and carbon VARs based on climate based on reporting emissions sustainable at stockholder. Our expert is 20 years firm-wide ESD integration, 11 dedicated ESD specialization, 100 years combined investment exercise, $41 billion specially screen mandates 8.6% of the total assets across 34 countries globally with 5,160 plus company meted voted on. UNPRI annual assessment number 1, share action possibility investment survey on European asset managers, top 5 global climate index and tier 1 UK stewardships. So these are the many important aspects of ESG. So ESG can play a major role in different area, and if we can do for professional investors and advisors, posting disclosure, attribute disclosure, model discussions, many of the important aspects we can discuss in a different way. So most important factor is that if we can understand this ESG in a professional way, we can grow our economy in a sustainable way. So if you have any questions, you can directly ask me. Thank you everyone. Thank you for joining today's session.